Yeah, hello, good morning, great minds. Today we're going to talk about an interesting area that all of us love and we cannot do away with as long as we want to start our small businesses. And I want us to look at why perhaps we should start a business from home. So operating your business from home. I mean, it's very good if you can actually operate a business from the house because it comes with a lot of opportunities and a lot of advantages if you're actually operating your business from the house. Obviously, there's nothing wrong if you have to go and start the business from an office or where you have what it takes to rent an office to operate. But then, if we are looking at ourselves as small business owners, then the bigger question has to do with why don't we then manage the small capital that we have in order to grow the business? Because obviously, if you have to go and rent a place, it's not going to be easy. It's expensive to rent a place, especially in Ghana or Africa, to run your business. You're actually going to pay like 2 years advance for an office setup to operate. So I always hold the view that if we can start a business from the house, let's start from the house. And starting the business from home brings a lot of opportunities. But then sometimes because of a little pressure, competition, you want to show off in running your small business, you said, okay, let me get an office. And before I realize most of the capital is you're going to use most of your capital or profit to be paying rent. And funny enough, you think 2 years, 24 months is long. Before I realize you have to pay again. Then before you discover, pressure is mounting on you in running the business. And you end up sometimes trying to borrow money from the bank, from family people, and too much pressure comes on the business, and you might even get frustrated. Now, because obviously, if you have to operate from home, it becomes easy. Imagine the money you're going to use to pay rent to somebody for 2 years, 3 years, sometimes even 5 years. That money could be used to actually invest back into the business so that the business will expand. And funny enough, we're looking at an environment where, Accra or Ghana with traffic issues. In other words, if you're even operating from the house, you're going to have advantage of time value, avoiding all the traffic. You're able to design your own flexible working period because as you're operating from the house, an idea could come. Certain activities will drop in your mind and you want to just wake up and rush to the office to do. So operating from the house gives you that level of flexibility where you can work at any time, which will perhaps result in productivity. So obviously there's a need for us to really consider we operating from the home if you don't have enough capital to go and rent a place so that we reduce the stress on ourselves. Imagine the productivity where you can wake up as early as 5 to start working, where you can work as late as 8, 10, as long as you have the energy to do the work. So operating from the house should be something that we shouldn't think that it's not going to help the business to grow and all that. Obviously, if you do your own research, you realize some of the big companies we have today, they all started from operating from their houses. You can talk about Amazon, you can talk about even Facebook, you can talk about Elon Musk with PayPal and his Tesla business. But when he was starting, he started from the home. So starting the business from your house is not a bad thing at all. So let's reduce the stress of trying to actually going to look for money to rent a place, rent an office. I need to have an office. So that we can reduce some of these costs and use those monies to run the business more effectively. So hey, let's reduce the stress on ourselves. We can start from home so that we can reduce it. As a matter of fact, sometimes starting from home comes with its own benefits. Sometimes family members will begin to see what you are doing and may even come in to help you. Some may help you financially, some may help you with expertise. And some will always be there when you call on them because they can see by evidence what you are doing, the sacrifices you are putting into the business. So let's focus on that. Let's start it from home if we can start it from home. If you have what it takes to rent a shop or rent an office setup, no problem, go ahead. But I want us as small business owners to reduce the pressure on us of always trying to get an office setup before we start a business. We can start where we are. Let's start from home. And gradually, the business will grow. So that the small capital that we need for us to use in paying rent, we can use it to invest into the business so that our business can grow. Thank you very much.